Hey everyone, Soteria here. Today I'm in a full-on educational mood, and honestly, it's a privilege to break down the different types of PR for you. Why am I doing this? Because I genuinely believe that diving into these details helps us stop falling for the manufactured spectacles fed to us every day. Besides, a little extra knowledge never hurt anyone, right? Anyway, let's talk PR strategies. The world of public relations is massive, so I'm going to cover at least 5 major tactics across this series. Here are the 5 we'll be tackling. Showmance, fictional or strategic relationships, crisis management and the redemption arc, deflection/distraction, the pap walk, staged paparazzi walks, the relatable image. These are just a few of the most overused PR plays shoved in our faces. We see them so often in daily life that I honestly think everyday people use them socioculturally to gain leverage too, not just celebrities. But let's get into the weeds and break down the first 2. 1. Showmance, fictional or strategic relationships. This is easily one of the most common PR plays, usually constructed to feed fan fantasies. God, the simple definition? It's a manufactured romance between co-stars, or celebrities, marketed to boost a film or sweep uncomfortable truths under the rug. Even married or taken celebs fall into this when they're partnered up on screen, acting madly in love in real life to drive the fandom crazy. Prime examples: Kaylee Cuoco and Henry Cavill, widely regarded as one of the most transparent PR relationships in tabloid history. The Big Bang Theory star and the soon-to-be global Superman, Man of Steel, dated for a grand total of 12 days. Strategic goal: both actors were signed to the same PR agency, BPM-PR. The goal was to boost Cavill's visibility in the US market while elevating Cuoco from a sitcom star to an actress dating a Hollywood heartthrob. The PR detail: they conveniently got snapped holding hands while accidentally grocery shopping. Days after the film hit theaters and the press tour wrapped, they announced their breakup. Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello, 2019. Longtime friends whose relationship suddenly became official the exact week their duet, Señorita, dropped. Strategic goal: push the track to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and bring the erotic energy of the music video into real life to keep the listener obsession alive. The PR detail: immediately after the video dropped, hyper-exaggerated kissing videos and beach photos were fed to the press. Once the song achieved commercial success and award season closed, the relationship quietly fizzled out. Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga, 2018 to 2019. During the release and award campaign for A Star Is Born, Cooper and Gaga crafted the illusion of an intense real-life romance. Strategic goal: maximize box office revenue and build an irresistible best chemistry narrative for Academy Award voters to boost the film's and Shallow's Oscar chances. The PR detail: they exchanged longing glances in every interview and delivered a boundary-pushing, intimate performance of Shallow at the Oscars. Cooper later admitted in an interview that the entire performance and on-stage intimacy was pure acting, designed to maintain the dramatic illusion of the film. Taylor Swift and Tom Hiddleston, 2016. Their whirlwind 3-month romance remains one of the most talked about PR stunts in pop culture. Strategic goal: divert public attention away from Swift's infamous snake crisis with Kanye West, while skyrocketing Hiddleston's global profile right when his name was being floated as the next James Bond. The PR detail: the pair traveled the globe while being photographed by paparazzi from pristine, high-resolution, perfectly lit angles. Hiddleston wearing an I Heart TS tank top in the ocean basically sealed the deal on the PR accusations. Strategic red flags of a showmance: impeccable timing, relationship news leaks 1 to 2 weeks before a movie premiere, album drop, or season premiere. Shared PR/management agency: being represented by the same team makes orchestrating leaked photos and stories seamless. Studio quality accidental photos, supposedly candid paparazzi shots, feature studio-grade lighting, crisp resolution, and perfect angles. Post-project breakups: the moment the film leaves theaters or award season ends, a generic busy schedules/remaining close friends statement is issued. Why do they do it? Free publicity, earned media. Generates massive organic media coverage that millions of advertising dollars couldn't buy. Actor-character blurring: audiences who believe the on-screen romance is real become far more invested in the project. Crisis distraction: when a celeb's name gets dragged into a scandal, pivoting the news cycle to a squeaky clean romance is the ultimate PR shield. God, look how far we got on just the first PR type. But don't worry, I won't bore you. 2. Crisis management and the redemption arc. Crisis management is the immediate containment of events threatening a person's or brand's reputation. A redemption arc, however, is a long-term PR strategy designed to rehabilitate public perception after a major scandal, guiding someone step by step from pariah to forgiven hero. A successful redemption process relies on a 4-stage formula. 1. Transparent acceptance. 2. Cooling off period. 3. Tangible action. 4. Strategic re-entry. Transparent acceptance, dropping the denials, victim blaming, and excuses to take direct accountability for the mistake. Retreat and silence. Cooling off period. Stepping out of the media spotlight to let public anger cool down. Tangible action and rehabilitation. Moving beyond verbal apologies by entering rehab, making meaningful restitution, or overhauling systemic practices. Strategic re-entry. Returning to the public eye via low-risk platforms through candid, empathetic interviews or carefully chosen projects. Legendary PR and crisis management case studies. Robert Downey Jr. As you know, he was deep in severe drug scandals, something introduced to him by his own father. His PR strategy was brilliant in its execution, accountability and retreat. He didn't blame the industry. He completely submitted to the legal system and checked into long-term rehabilitation. The small step strategy. Instead of chasing blockbusters, he took low-budget indie roles, like The Singing Detective, sometimes paying his own insurance costs or relying on friends like Mel Gibson to post Bond. The Big Comeback, 2008. When Marvel took a gamble on him for Iron Man, his PR team seamlessly aligned his real-life struggles with Tony Stark's internal flaws. Result: a man once written off as a tabloid tragedy transformed into a global icon and Hollywood's highest-paid actor. Johnson & Johnson Tylenol crisis. 1982. In Chicago, an unknown perpetrator laced Tylenol capsules on store shelves with cyanide, killing 7 people. The deaths weren't caused by a manufacturing flaw, yet J&J took full charge, putting lives over profit. Despite the massive financial hit, J&J immediately recalled 31 million bottles nationwide, approximately $100 million loss at the time. Transparent communication. They issued constant public warnings and halted all sales. Innovative solution. Instead of hiding, they revolutionized the entire pharmaceutical industry by inventing tamper-evident packaging. Result: because they prioritized human life and absolute transparency, public trust remained intact. Tylenol recovered its entire market share within months. Hugh Grant, 1995. While in a high-profile relationship with Elizabeth Hurley, Hugh Grant was arrested in a car with a sex worker, just days before his major romantic comedy, 9 Months, was set to premiere. The PR strategy. While PR advisors typically suggest sweeping it under the rug or blaming stress, Grant walked onto The Tonight Show with Jay Leno 2 days later. When asked, "What on earth were you thinking?" he didn't offer a single excuse. "I did a bad thing. It was stupid, and I have no Masoret," excuse. Result: his refusal to hide behind excuses and his genuine embarrassment generated widespread empathy. The film smashed the box office, and his career emerged unscathed. KFC FCK campaign, 2018. KFC UK switched logistics suppliers and accidentally ran out of chicken across hundreds of restaurants nationwide. A chicken joint running out of chicken became an instant social media laughingstock. The PR strategy. Instead of issuing dry, corporate-speak apologies, KFC took out full-page ads in major UK newspapers, featuring an empty bucket with the letters rearranged to spell FCK. The copy acknowledged the absurdity of the situation, apologized sincerely, and outlined their operational fix. Result: self-deprecating humor and honesty turned a logistical disaster into a legendary PR triumph, generating millions of positive impressions globally. What works versus what destroys your career in a crisis accountability? Owning the mistake immediately and apologizing sincerely saves you. In contrast, playing the "I didn't do it, they did" denial game only fuels the fire. Communication speed. You must make that first statement within the first 24 hours. Retreating into total silence leaves a vacuum filled by rumors and conspiracy theories, which is guaranteed career suicide. Focus. Successful PR puts the victims and concrete solutions front and center. If you pivot to protecting your corporate image or profits, you will double public rage. Action. Empty, buzzword-filled statements convince nobody. People want to see real, systemic changes backing up your words. A true redemption arc only works when supported by real-world action. 3. Deflection/distraction. Dead cat strategy. This is the strategy of diverting public and media attention away from an embarrassing news story, scandal, or crisis facing an institution or celebrity, shifting the news cycle toward a more sensational, engaging, or entirely different topic instead. Frequently referred to in politics and communication literature as the dead cat strategy. The logic is quite simple. While everyone is arguing over a bad issue in the middle of the table, if you throw a dead cat onto the table, nobody talks about the old issue anymore. Everyone starts talking about the dead cat on the table. Standout PR and agenda-shifting examples include Facebook's Meta rebrand, 2021. In the autumn of 2021, Facebook was facing one of the biggest crises in its history. Former employee Frances Haugen leaked thousands of internal documents, the Facebook Papers, proving that the platform ignored the mental health harms inflicted on teenagers, hate speech, and misinformation for the sake of profit. PR strategy, deflection. During the peak week of leaks and congressional testimony, Mark Zuckerberg delivered a massive live-streamed vision presentation. He announced that the corporate name was changing to Meta and that the future would be built around metaverse technology. Result? Instead of running headlines about Facebook's scandals for days, global media plastered front pages with, "What is the metaverse? What will the virtual reality world look like?" and analyses of the new logo. The crisis didn't completely vanish, but the focus of the headlines was successfully steered toward the future. Boris Johnson and search engine/SEO manipulation. 2019. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson was facing severe criticism over Brexit crises and the misleading slogan printed on his campaign bus. "We send the EU £350 million a week. Let's fund our NHS instead." When users searched Boris Johnson bus on search engines, only this scandal would appear. PR strategy, deflection. During an interview, Johnson unprompted brought up a strange hobby. "In my spare time, I make model buses out of old wine crates." The statement was so bizarre and unexpected that media and social media talked about the news for days. Result: users typing Boris Johnson bus into Google searches no longer saw crisis news, but instead saw news about Johnson making model buses out of wine crates. The search engine algorithm and public agenda were manipulated. The Kardashian-Jenner family. Possessing one of the most professional PR mechanisms in pop culture, the Kardashian family deploys the agenda-shifting protocol whenever a heavy scandal or financial crisis breaks out concerning one of their members. PR strategy: when a family member's name is associated with a lawsuit, financial irregularity, or negative event, a completely different story regarding another family member is leaked at the exact same hour or the following day. A new pregnancy announcement, a surprise breakup, an aesthetic transformation, or a new product launch. Result: the limited attention span of tabloid media and followers immediately shifts to the fresh, colourful news. The negative crisis news is pushed down to the back pages and fades away. Behind the scenes, what are the core mechanisms powering deflection PR? First is the move known as the big announcement. Right when a crisis is flaring up, they drop a massive project, rebranding, or investment announcement so that media headlines instantly shift toward positive, future-oriented news. Second is SEO piracy. By generating an absurd news story containing the exact same keywords as the crisis, they push negative search engine results down to the very bottom. Third is manufacturing fictitious debates. They launch an unrelated yet highly inflammatory controversy that splits public opinion, draining all human energy and attention away from the crisis. Finally, there is the famous news dump tactic. They drop negative news to the press late on Friday evenings, thus capitalizing on the disinterest of the media and the public over the weekend to quietly bury the story. How do we spot whether a news story is a deflection? First, look at the suspicious timing. Be suspicious if a completely unrelated yet massive good news announcement or sensational statement drops at the exact hour, a massive negative story breaks, or on the following day. Second, check for disproportionate interest. While the actual crisis is complex and boring, the newly introduced story is much more tabloid-friendly, visual, and easily consumable. Finally, look at the pattern of dodging questions. If, during press conferences, figures continuously bypass reporters' questions regarding the crisis to heavily push the newly announced topic, there is a clear agenda shift taking place. 4. Pap walk, controlled paparazzi walk. These are controlled, pre-arranged street strolls staged by celebrities' PR teams who tip off paparazzi agencies in advance to make the photos look accidental or candid. In this strategy, celebrities are photographed grabbing coffee, walking their dogs, leaving a venue, or holding hands with a partner. Contrary to what it looks like, there is zero secrecy involved. The photographer is given the exact time, location, and route beforehand. Key examples: Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas, 2020. During the first months of the COVID-19 lockdowns, when Hollywood productions and premieres ground to a halt, this couple's daily walks through the streets of Los Angeles completely dominated tabloid news. Strategic goal: promote their co-starring movie Deep Water and maintain their global relevance at a time when all Hollywood news had dried up. PR detail: almost every single day, the pair was snapped in impeccably styled outfits, holding iced coffees and walking their dogs. Virtually all of these photos were distributed with the watermark of Backgrid, Hollywood's most famous paparazzi agency. Emily Ratajkowski, Emrata. Model Emrata pioneered turning routine dog walks on the streets of New York into a lucrative commercial business model. Strategic goal: showcase luxury streetwear, solidify her status as a global style icon, and keep her digital brand equity sky high. PR detail: even on a mundane dog walk, Emrata wears unreleased sneakers, jackets, or accessories from partner brands. These photos are distributed worldwide through agencies, and the featured pieces routinely sell out within hours. Taylor Swift and Girl Squad / Travis Kelce, 2023. Taylor Swift routinely steers the media narrative by stepping out of Electric Lady Studios in New York or walking out of star-studded restaurants. Strategic goal: build massive hype ahead of album announcements, signal female solidarity alongside figures like Sophie Turner or Blake Lively, or officially soft launch a new relationship, like Travis Kelce, to the public. PR detail: instead of shielding her face from flashing lights, she deliberately slows her walking pace, showcases her outfit, and gives photographers direct eye-level angles to ensure pristine image quality. How the PAP walk mechanism works behind the scenes. The process operates through a carefully orchestrated communication pipeline. The tip-off: the celebrity's manager or stylist calls a recognized paparazzi agency, like Backgrid, and provides precise logistics. They will be exiting X Cafe in Soho at exactly 2 p.m. Product placement: the stylist decks the celebrity out in sponsored luxury items, handbags, sunglasses, or shoes provided by partner brands. The shoot: the photographer arrives at the location and takes clear, comfortably angled shots without any friction. Distribution and revenue: the photos are syndicated globally with copyright revenue or promotional perks managed between the agency and the PR team. How to spot a pap walk versus a genuine candid photo angle and lighting. Genuine paparazzi shots are usually taken from a distance, blurry, and shot from awkward angles. Pap walk photos are high resolution, front-facing, and feature studio-grade lighting and composition. Behavior and demeanor: in a real ambush, celebrities hide their faces, hurry away, or look visibly annoyed. In a pap walk, the celebrity appears completely relaxed, serene, or smiling, pretending to ignore the cameras while consciously posing for them. Wardrobe details: authentic candid shots usually catch celebrities in low-effort, casual loungewear. Pap walks feature impeccably coordinated head-to-toe luxury pieces that are ready to be tagged by fashion blogs. Photo source: genuine leaks come from independent or anonymous stringers. Pap walk photos are almost universally distributed under corporate agency watermarks, like Backgrid or Getty Images. Why do celebrities rely on this strategy so heavily? Relationship: soft launching. Staging a hand-in-hand street walk feels vastly more organic and authentic to the public than issuing a dry, formal press release. The illusion of relatability: it offsets the untouchable red carpet persona, crafting an approachable narrative. Look at us. We grab iced coffee and walk our dogs just like you. Staying relevant: it is the most efficient, low-effort tool to maintain a constant presence in the daily news cycle between major project releases. And finally, we've made it to the fifth and final part. 5. The relatable, one of us, image. This is the strategic PR framework engineered by individuals with astronomical wealth, fame, or political power to cultivate a public perception of, "I'm just like you," or "I have human flaws and simple pleasures too." Especially during economic crises or periods when anti-elitist sentiment is on the rise, flaunting luxury and remaining untouchable alienates the public. Relatable PR aims to build trust and empathy by creating a parasocial intimacy with fans or voters. Key examples: Jennifer Lawrence, Hollywood's unfiltered and clumsy girl. Next Door, the textbook example of shattering the untouchable, flawless Hollywood actress image. Strategic goal: maintain the approachable girl next door persona while becoming a global superstar, securing a massive multi-generational fan base. PR detail: tripping on the stairs on her way to accept her 2013 Academy Award, constantly dropping lines in red carpet interviews like "I'm starving, where's the pizza?" or "I just watch reality TV and eat chips," and mocking elite Hollywood events. These clumsy moments and unfiltered statements made her ultra-luxurious lifestyle forgivable and instantly endearing to the public. Barack Obama and Anthony Bourdain, 2016. US President Barack Obama sitting down with world-renowned chef Anthony Bourdain at a humble local eatery in Hanoi during his visit to Vietnam. Strategic goal: humanize the leader of a global superpower, sending a clear message to both the US public and the world. Here is a genuine leader who comes from the people. PR detail: rather than dining at a high-end restaurant, the duo sat on cheap plastic stools inside a low-cost tiled diner, eating a $6 bowl of bun cha, Vietnamese noodles, and sipping bottled beer. This photo and video became one of the most iconic and endearing soft power PR moments of Obama's presidency. Selena Gomez and TikTok, get ready with me. GRWM. Despite her hundreds of millions of followers, Selena Gomez bypasses multi-million-dollar ad campaigns in favor of raw, unpolished social media content. Strategic goal: send a message to her young audience. I wake up tired in the morning, I deal with breakouts, and I don't need filters, just like you. Building a fiercely loyal, empathy-driven customer base for her personal cosmetics brand, Rare Beauty. PR detail: posting short, unfiltered videos right from her bathroom with zero makeup, casually showing products with raw, emotional honesty. This completely dissolves the boundary between an untouchable pop star and a trusted friend you vent to. Warren Buffett. The financial media persona of Warren Buffett, one of the richest people on earth, is built entirely around extreme simplicity. Strategic goal: diffuse potential public hostility against massive wealth accumulation, anti-elitism, and preserve his image as a trustworthy, humble investor. PR detail: the media constantly highlights Buffett grabbing a $3-something breakfast from McDonald's on his way to work every morning, living in the exact same modest house he bought in 1958 for $31,500, and driving low-budget cars. How PR teams engineer relatability behind the scenes. Self-deprecation, pushing their own flaws into the spotlight rather than bragging about their intelligence or fame, effectively cutting off incoming criticism before it starts. Accessible consumption, pairing multi-$1,000 outfits with mass-market brands like Zara or H&M, or being photographed eating fast food and street food instead of dining at Michelin star venues. Unfiltered vulnerability, openly discussing their stress, failures, fatigue, or social anxiety to heavily emphasize the human side of their character. Where relatable PR backfires. The tone-deaf trap. When this strategy feels manufactured or completely detached from reality, it triggers a catastrophic backlash from the public. Natural versus forced. When executed naturally, it's effortless and fun. Like Jennifer Lawrence tripping at the Oscars and laughing at her own clumsiness. But when forced, it turns into a disaster. Like Kim Kardashian preaching, "Get your fucking ass up and work." It seems like nobody wants to work these days. From her hyper-luxurious mansion. Contextual versus absurd. When grounded in context, it's endearing. Like a politician having tea and a bagel, simmet, with local shopkeepers. But when it turns into an ironic nightmare, it's downright painful. Like Gal Gadot and her celebrity friends singing Imagine from their sprawling mansions during COVID lockdowns, telling the public, "We're all in this together." The public detects that insincerity instantly. And that's all for today. God, that was a long one, wasn't it? And we're not even halfway through. But you know what they say, the more detailed the info, the better. I have so much more to break down for you, and honestly, I'm so excited about it. But this video ran pretty long, and I don't want to bore you guys. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to support me, you already know what to do. Love you guys. Take care of yourselves. If you have any ideas or specific topics you want me to cover next, feel free to drop them in the comments or shoot me a DM. For now, see you later, alligator.